Anya brushed dirt off her hands. She smiled. Years of searching had led to this.
An ancient temple hidden in the Indian jungle. Vines covered its walls. Statues of forgotten gods guarded its entrance. She was determined to uncover its secrets.
Anya had studied ancient Indian mythology since she was a child. Her parents, both archaeologists, had instilled in her a love for the past. This temple, mentioned only in whispers and legends, was the key to unlocking a forgotten chapter of history. She felt it in her bones.
The air hung heavy, thick with the scent of jasmine and damp earth. The jungle around her thrummed with life, yet an unnatural stillness clung to the temple. It felt ancient, powerful. A shiver ran down Anya's spine, a mixture of excitement and apprehension.
She adjusted her backpack and took a deep breath. This was it. This was her moment. The chance to make a discovery that would change everything. No fear, only the thrill of the unknown.
Anya stepped through the temple gates. The air grew colder, heavier. Shadows danced around her, cast by the faint rays of sunlight that pierced the dense canopy above. The jungle noises faded, replaced by an eerie silence.
She ran her hand along the cool, moss-covered stone walls. The carvings beneath her fingers were intricate, depicting scenes of a forgotten time. Gods and goddesses locked in eternal battles. Creatures of myth and legend frozen in stone.
The temple was a labyrinth of corridors and chambers, each more awe-inspiring than the last. She could feel the weight of centuries pressing down on her, the echoes of forgotten rituals clinging to the air. As she ventured deeper, Anya noticed strange symbols etched into the walls. They were unfamiliar, unlike any script she had encountered in her studies. They seemed to writhe and shift in the dim light, whispering secrets in a language she couldn't understand. It both fascinated and unnerved her. A faint light flickered in the distance. Anya cautiously approached, her hand hovering over the flashlight in her backpack. As she rounded a corner, she saw him.
An old man sat cross-legged in the center of a small chamber, his wrinkled face illuminated by the soft glow of several oil lamps. He wore simple saffron-colored robes, and his eyes, though clouded with age, held a sharp intelligence. He looked up as Anya approached, a hint of sadness in his gaze.
"So the whispers have brought you at last," he said, his voice raspy with age. "I've been expecting you."
Anya introduced herself, explaining her presence.
The man listened patiently, then introduced himself as Rajeev, the last custodian of the temple. He had been waiting for years, he explained, for someone to whom he could pass on the temple's secrets and its burden. Anya, this temple is not just a place of worship, it's a prison. A prison for a powerful entity, a being of pure chaos and destruction that was bound within these walls centuries ago.
Rajeev pointed to a large, intricately carved stone door at the far end of the chamber.
Behind that door lies the entity. It must never be released.
Anya, though skeptical at first, couldn't help but be drawn in by Rajev's story. Driven by her thirst for knowledge, she couldn't resist the allure of the forbidden. Despite Rajev's warnings, she moved towards the sealed door. She had to see it with her own eyes. She had to know the truth.
I have to know.
As she touched the cold stone, the symbols on the door flared to life. A low hum resonated through the chamber, growing louder with each passing second. The air crackled with energy. Anya stumbled back, fear finally gripping her heart. She had awakened something terrible. Rajeev, his face etched with worry, explained that the only way to contain the entity was to find the Heartstone. This mystical artifact, he said, was the key to controlling the entity's power.
The Heartstone. It is the only hope.
He pointed to a faded inscription on the wall, depicting a glowing heart-shaped stone.
I know what I have to do. I unleashed this chaos. I have to be the one to stop it.
Time was running out. The entity, awakened from its long slumber, was already trying to break free, shaking the very foundations of the temple. They had to find the Heartstone, and fast. The fate of the world might depend on it. Anya, her fear now replaced with a steely determination, nodded at Rajeev.
We will face this together. We have to. There is no other choice.
The hunt for the Heartstone had begun.